Okay, y'all, three more casualties and a possible. Fatima is definitely carrying a demon baby. I am totally convinced now. And Randall, although he was a jerk, I mean, did they have to leave him semi alive? What is up, y'all? What is up? It is your girl EJ back with another from video. Today we're talking about season 3, episode 4, entitled There and Back. And y'all, this episode started right where the last one left off, and that was with Tabitha and the EMTs and the police officer and Victor's father. They saw the dreaded tree, y'all, and the crows, and Tabitha knew exactly what that meant. But I knew that trying to tell those guys that they were driving around and around and around in circles, and it was nighttime as well, I knew that this wasn't going to end well for them because they weren't going to believe it. And although Tabitha tried to warn them, I mean, she really had to think about the fact of when her and Jim got there, they didn't believe this either. Like, no one believes it until they actually see it. So I can't really be mad at the EMTs or the police officer at this point because it is what it is. But they did learn very quickly that she was telling the truth. And although the two EMTs didn't make it, I mean, the police officer made it barely, but she still made it. So Boyd had an impossible decision. He had to go out there and actually try to save them, right? And these monsters are just playing with him, y'all. Like, they continue to play with him. They continue to try to get into his head. And what's even more interesting is that before all of this went down, before we got into the thick of it, when they were just driving around and around and around, Ethan actually got a phone call from Thomas or whoever the voice is, but for all intensive purposes, let's just call him Thomas since that's what he calls himself. He gets a phone call from Thomas saying that his mom was going to need help and that she was in the ambulance. And this is the reason why they end up going out, because of this phone call. Ethan, tried to run his little butt out like he always tries to do. But Jim was like, if there's even a chance, I have to go, and so he had to go and see if his wife was out there. And I don't blame him. They've been kind of reeling from this whole fact that Tabitha's been missing all this time. And I feel like he's kind of tried to come to terms with the fact that his wife might not be alive, but he just doesn't want to say it. So at this point, if there's any hope, he's going to take it. So Boyd, of course, is not going to let him go out there by himself. And he's going to make sure that Ethan knows, don't you bring your little self out here, Ethan. Do not do it like you did last time. And so he goes to help. And of course, Randall is there too. And Randall goes out there to try to help as well. And whew, all I can say, y'all, is it was a lot. Now, meanwhile, while we have them trying to go save the people in the ambulance, you have the the police officer, I apologize, who is running for her life, y'all. She is running for her life, and she is trying to get to the house. Now, she's shooting all these bullets. She's just shooting everywhere. And once again, I cannot be mad at these people for shooting. But, someone does catch a stray bullet. And it just happens to be Nettie, I believe her name is. Nikki. It just happens to be Nikki. And Nikki, who is obnoxious as well, but, she did try to come back and apologize to Fatima later. So we're going to give her a break there. But she ends up getting shot, and then they try to save her. They try to take the bullet out. They do this crazy surgery, surgery-ish. And they try to actually save her and take the bullet out. But she's going to end up bleeding out later, y'all. And that is when Boyd is going to completely lose his ish. He's going to completely lose his ish. After saving Victor and Tabitha, and everybody's looking at Tabitha like she's crazy, like really trying to figure out what is going on. How did she even survive? I know that's all the things that was going through everybody's mind when she walked in there. But yeah, it was so much going on. I'm saving Victor for last because Victor decided that he was going to build this whole fort, right? He needed to remember exactly what was going on. When I tell y'all that we got so many extra little clues this go around, and I still don't have a clue what any of it means, but it was nice to get some of the clues. We learned about some of the people that were there. We learned about the old man that smelled like onions. We learned about the little boy because it was just him and the little boy left. And I'm sure the little boy was still not real, of course, the little boy in white, but that's all that was left. But Victor went around and picked up different possessions from different people. And then he also talked about this guy who he didn't have any of his possessions, and he was trying to remember who he was, and he said that he always made people laugh in a place where people don't laugh. This man actually made people laugh. And then he talked about how the man became distant and he started going off to himself. And then you see a flashback of him looking at the man talking to the puppet, right? And the puppet is talking back. And then the puppet actually makes that crazy sound that they make whenever they're calling the rest of their, I don't even know, the undead people, whoever they are. The puppet makes that sound as well. So I feel like we got a lot more information than what we had before. But once again, like I said, I can't really put it all together. I'm actually going to go back and rewatch it again because I want to listen specifically to those clues and see if I can come up with some theory videos, y'all, because this one always has me stumped. But I just love watching the show so much. When Tabitha tries to tell Jim about what was going on and that this was Victor's father, of course, he has some apprehensiveness about it because he's like, are you sure this is his father? But I honestly knew that we weren't going to get to see Victor and his father reunited. And it just so happens that Victor was not at Colony House. He was down there with Sarah trying to figure everything else out. And so I knew we weren't going to get the reunion just yet, but I am most excited to see what this reunion is going to look like. Is this truly Victor's father? I mean, just so many questions that I have. Not that I really doubt that it's his father, but I mean, it's still a question that we have to ask because we don't know what Victor's father looks like, but I'm pretty sure that no one would make up this story. So I truly believe that Tabitha did go outside, that she did make it to the outside world, but that was the plan for her to come back with Victor's father and for her to come back with more clues to try to help everybody out. Because once again, we know that there are certain people who are chosen. And y'all, Elgin just continues to see things. Y'all, whatever this is that he's seen, I feel like it is also a key piece. I really wish everybody would just talk to everybody. Now, in this episode, Jay did actually tell Kenny and Christy about the things that he had been seeing. So I guess we are in a step in the right direction. That is what's up with From Season 3, Episode 4. Let me know what your thoughts are. What did you think about it coming full circle, Tabitha coming right back to the place where she seemed to have gotten away from? Are you anticipating Victor and his father's reunion? And what are your thoughts about the clues that we learned in this particular episode? Go ahead and get the conversation started down below. Meanwhile, if you like this video, make sure to go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to your girl channel. Turn on your notifications so that you do not miss out on any of my future From content. And I will talk to you guys later. Peace.